Everyone, how's it going? All right, so basically, I managed to get most of it done, which is great. It was a late night, in between naps and all other sort of stuff. I think I have a pretty solid base to keep on going. How cool is this? Really happy with the result though. I think it's super cool. What do you guys think? Awesome. All right, so today what is the plan? The plan is to firstly test to see how this thing deforms. And then I want to see how this thing, how to do like how to finish up this little thing. Now, I will probably ignore the hair in this stream for today. But there's still plenty of other stuff to do. I think I can probably get some texturing done. We'll see how we go. What else is there? I got to do the boots, but I am tempted to just steal some boots from another character. So the one, hey, g'day, good morning. Thank you on Twitch. Mighty Nawa, thank you. So yeah, we're coming up good, good. What else is there? Hold on, I'm just gonna make sure that everything else is going well. Sorry, just making sure YouTube Studio is working as I would like. Hold on. All right, cool. Hopefully this week will be another video, maybe next week, depending on how things go. But all things considered, it should be all good. But this will be featuring this character as well, which is really cool. So I'm pretty excited about that video coming up. All right. As for the chat, feel free to ask questions. Feel free to do whatever you want, and we'll get going. So let's see. So what I need to do, what's left here is the mask. So you can see the mask is looking a little bit incomplete. I'm not going to retopper this manually. I'm just going to go ahead and use my quad remesher for this one. So all I got to do is really just click on this and then press, let's see, 800 quads maybe. Adaptive size, I want to get that up like that. And then symmetry turned on. And then click. And if we're lucky, that doesn't look too bad, actually. That doesn't look too bad. I would have liked the, actually, no, I think that's good. I think that looks going to look good. And I could probably increase the quads a little bit. But I do like the fact that it got this loop correct. It got that loop pretty good. Did it? Oh, it actually did the whole back inside and out. That's interesting. Let's do that again. But this time let's turn off the solidify. What else is there? I might increase that to 1,200. And increase that. Click on the button. Oops. And it's remeshed that. And that looks a little bit nicer. Yeah, I feel like that looks a bit better. And if we smooth that out, yeah, that looks cool. Quite happy with that. I don't need to worry too much about anything else. The loops are nice and clean and does everything that I expected to. The jawline's going up. The head's going this way. And that's looking pretty sweet. So what I want to do now is just quickly flatten out the top there just a little bit. And smooth that out. Oops, not like that. Let's just go ahead and just smooth it out like that and lift it up. And it looks a little bit nicer. All right, cool. I might also go ahead and just do a slight sculpt on the front there, just to smooth out the top features of the mask. Yeah, that feels a lot better. Fantastic. Easy. So what I'm going to do now is the sort of glasses area of the body. So not the body, the glasses area of the mask. So I'm going to start working on the mask. Let's solidify that. Oops, wrong one. You can see here that it's looking a little bit too harsh. So what you can do, instead of subdividing it further, I'm just going to go ahead and mark these as seams, not seams, as bevel weight creases. So what I can do then is just go to bevel on top of that, and under the edges, under profile, limit angle, weight, we can increase the segments. And now we've got this nice clean bevel going on there instead. I can set that to 2, like that. You can make films in Blender? Of course you can. Good morning, Nuno Fiero. All right, cool. So we got that going. Now let's go ahead and add what I want in the features of the front of the face. So I'm going to apply all those. Let's just turn on my references. You can see here that I have these glasses that I want to sort of put on the character, and these little valves. How's it going, guys? Good morning. All right, and as we all know, as I mentioned in the past, if this goes off a little early, then I'll have to sign off. But I think in terms of progress, we're doing pretty good. All right, so what's next? So what we're gonna do is the little glasses. So what I want to do is just grab a 3D cursor tool. Let's set the 3D cursor to the right dead center in that face. So under view, set it to 0. I'm gonna make a brand new plane, rotate that, apply the rotation, and then bring that in. I might actually start to, let's actually go to edit and auto mirror that. Oops, wrong way. Let's make sure this is applied rotation as well. What's going on there? Don't know why that's not working. Let's try it again. Positive. Weird. Okay, let's just do it ourselves then. All right, mirror that. There we go, that's working now. How are you liking the XP pen? I have the 22 one, I love it, but I find the orbiting a little bit janky sometimes. Keeps snapping to a weird angle on release. Orbiting on, as in on the pen. This one's like by far better than the 22 and 24-inch tablets in terms of responsiveness, because the recognition of the pen is really good. It's much better than the older ones, and it's very sensitive and very smooth to use. I actually really like this tablet. It's awesome. Oh, cheers. Thank you, Woden. Appreciate it. All right, cool. So what I'm going to do is mirror that and bring that in. And this will be the start of our sort of sunnies, I guess you can say, the glasses that sort of wrap around her eyes in that area. So I'm just going to start with some very basic shapes. Let's turn on snapping. And then I'll project this after the fact. What are you using Blender on? A Mac M2 Ultra computer at the moment. I got it because it was the only computer I can get on financing, at least like interest free. So, and I needed an upgrade, so I got it, and it was a pretty good decision. I think I'd like to see some better graphical performance, obviously, but for what I do, for the most part, it's pretty good. If you would like me to do a little review on it, just let me know. Oops. So where is, oh yeah, let's just flip that and see how that's going. It's going to look pretty bit weird there. Don't worry, it'll all come together in a second. I'm just getting the shapes done first, and then I'll worry about the topology after the fact. And is PC good for, PC is better for Blender than Mac for sure, no question. It runs better, it's more stable on PC, like by far more stable. And yeah, just generally runs better as well. Despite the support that Apple has been giving Blender lately, it's still by far more performant. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and extrude out this sort of design. I kind of want to make it feel like there's still an ear there, so I'm going to go ahead and actually let's just do that. That first. That first. And so kind of go around the face. I guess I can make it as sort of like a detailing effect. Something like this. Cool. So that's the idea there, to make it sort of look like yeah, man, it's crazy that the Mac Pro can actually last that long, honestly. Gonna like just offset that a little bit off the face. And now what I'm going to do here is grab this and then do a bit of a inset to get the shape there. Let's add a few loops here. Actually, let's just go ahead and once I've done that, let's just have a look and see how it's coming up. Yeah, it's looking pretty cool. Let's do a shrink wrap. And then we'll offset that. Oh, that's not working. Let's have a look at the normals on this thing. That's good. All right, sweet. So what I need to do is just add a few loops this way. So what I want to do is do a cut across the eyeglasses like this. Do a cut across the glasses like this. I'm going to turn off the wireframe preview. And see how that's coming on. That's looking pretty cool. Oh, no worries. Thanks for joining. Was there any other questions I missed? How would I start learning Blender? Crafty Bean. Think of what you would like to create. First and foremost, like what's the one thing that you are aiming to do with Blender? And then sort of find little snippets of information that can help you get there. I think that would be probably the first thing to do. All right, so there's the glasses there. Let's go ahead and apply all, just to see how this is all looking. Yeah, that's looking pretty cool. And I think because I had a subdivision modifier on there, it automatically fixed up the 5-ended thing, which is cool. Awesome. Fantastic. All right, so now what I'm going to do is grab this and try and just offset it this way. There we go. That's looking pretty sweet. No worries. And then what I'm going to do is smooth shade that. Now, I actually kind of like the fact that this is like contouring with the face. It kind of works for me. So that's cool. So what I'm going to do now is grab these loops. Now I'm going to auto mirror this again. So I only have one side. And then I'm going to add some thickness to this. So I'm going to grab these edges. so. Awesome. And then I'm going to grab these. Yeah. Then I'll do a thick, then I'll do a, I'll do an extrude. I'm actually wondering whether or not to skip the middle part. Let's see how, nah. Yeah. Let's try and see how that looks. So I'm trying to figure out, like, just in terms of design, how this is going to look. So I think this is going to look cool if I do it this way. My Bob Ross, what? How is the XP Pro Artist 16? It's really good. It's just, yeah, it's really good actually. I've been very impressed with it. I will say that it is prone to scratching though. The glass is a bit more prone to scratching than I would like, but I'll talk about that in the full review. But it's been awesome. Been really good. It's up there with one of the best tablets I've used, put it that way. All right, cool. So we got that going on there. Now we have this sort of mask-like effect, which is pretty sweet. And then what I can do, I'm tempted to thicken that out a little bit in the inside track. So grab that and just sort of thicken it. That looks better. Awesome. So that's coming up pretty nicely. I really like that effect actually. Cool. Now for the next part, I'm gonna sort of get this looking nice and clean as well. Grab these areas here. And what I'm gonna do is, again, mark a bevel weight. Do the same thing on the middle, on the inside here. Like so. And then I'm gonna grab a bevel and set it to weight. And then I'm gonna tighten that up before I subdivide. Now that looks really nice. I can do the same thing in here as well. That's pretty cool. Do you not? Oh, I know who. Oh, my voice. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I get what you mean now. I get what you mean. I can't update OS beyond Monterey and install majority. Oh, that sucks. That's pain. And yeah, I'd say if you can ever afford to upgrade, it's like the latest version is really cool of the Mac OS. I think it's got some pretty cool stuff in it. So we've got the glasses. The question is now, do I like lens them out or do I keep them flat? Let's just do a little test and give it a little bit of a lensing effect. I think I might lens them out. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is just grab the middle part and do a soft select and just sort of pull. As long as I'm not affecting the actual glasses. I don't know what it's doing that for. Oh, because I got snapping turned on, of course. So what I can also do is change the profile of this to be more like a sphere. And it should lens out. It should bulge itself out a bit better now. Something like that. And then what I'm going to do is grab those again and just sort of soften them out one more time. Also might go ahead and do one little loop inside the eyes as well. So in here, I'm going to grab all these bits. Oh no, it's already got a loop, so that's fine. Sweet. Grab all those bits and now just sort of relax them a little bit. Relax. I think we've got something that looks pretty cool. So last thing I want to do is just flatten out this loop here. So I'm just going to push flatten and see what happens. Oh, that looks a bit shit. Okay, not going to happen. All right, so we'll just keep that as is. And then I might just add a bevel edge there, just to keep that nice and flat. Sweet. Good morning from Australia, of course. No worries. Enjoy the evening. Crafty Bean. Thanks for watching. All right, cool. So going ahead to smooth that out a little bit, just to get that looking nice and sort of rounded. Now, again, this is a background character, so the requirement from me to do something along those lines isn't all that required. So I'm going to go ahead and go to select similar, because the bevel wasn't working the way I want to, and go to bevel. No, edge selected. Sorry, I want to go to select and then select by trait or select similar bevel, I think. Yep, there we go. And instead of doing a bevel, I'm going to go do a edge crease. And that should look a little bit, yeah, that looks nicer, especially with higher topology. As for that, the lensing effect, I'm not a big fan, so I'm just going to soften that out a little bit again. That looks a lot better. Yeah, that looks better. Awesome. Why do you sculpt characters instead of box modeling from the start? Never understood why people do that, especially when there's a reference sheet. Just because it's as a more organic way of doing it. So basically it means that if you want to make changes, it's much faster, basically, on the, because a sketch is never going to be as good as a as when you put it to 3D. In terms of the details won't be there, generally speaking. So it's always nice to be able to yeah, it's always nice to be able to do it organically, put it that way. And it is faster once you get used to it. It is faster. All right, cool. What I might do here on the side, just cause, is I might add a slight extrusion here, just because it might look cool as a little earpiece, or I might just add it as a model piece. Let's add it as a model piece, actually. So I'm going to add a circle or a sphere. Yeah, I'll add a cylinder. Rotate on X 90 degrees. Whoops. Rotate on Y or Z 90 degrees. Whoops. I'm going to place it over here. All right, cool. The other nice thing about sculpting is that you just get that nice sort of freedom to just change muscle groups and stuff like that too. Yeah, modeling with both techniques is awesome. All right, cool. There we go. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm just giving the ear some structure, just because why not? And it does look kind of nice to have some sort of structure there, like so. So I'm just going to go ahead and mirror that. That. And I'm just going to go ahead and give it some insets. And then I can maybe merge by distance, or I can just delete this face first and then do a grid fill. And then we're just going to go ahead and smooth that out once I've got those shapes. Just like this. And then I'm just going to go ahead and grab the smooth and it's just sort of soften them out to get what I want. And they're just sort of like ear cups that can sort of sit within the ear. Nah, sculpting, it takes, it's just a matter of, practice, like anything else in this world. So sculpting does become faster once you get more used to it, for sure. But if you want a more refined model, it's always nice to sculpt because you also get these details. So these details are all from the sculpt, and the geometry is actually a lower poly. So you can actually project the higher poly onto the lower poly, and you get this nice muscle group stuff going on. Let's add a flatten. There we go. That was cool. Awesome. So I like that. That looks pretty sweet. Not redo it via box modeling, just retopo. So you trace it like you would trace a picture on paper, but with better form. So you have this model here. This is why, nice and clean. And then you have the sculpt, which is like got this high detail muscle group stuff in it, but the lower poly doesn't have that much information. All right, cool. So we got that going on. That's looking really cool. What's next? So we have to add, I'm gonna add some valves. So I'm actually tempted to open up my other file. And again, if you like what you're watching so far, please feel free to either join up to Patreon, sign up to memberships on YouTube, or just give a super chat or something like that. I'm trying to make this thing a full-time gig. So if you can support the channel by any means, that'd be awesome. Basically, I don't have time to freelance because I am taking care of a little kid, my little daughter. So if you feel like supporting what I'm doing, any amount would be greatly appreciated. Let's see, dealer. I'm just gonna bring up a model from the last video that I did and copy and paste stuff. So the cool thing about Blender is that you can copy and paste between files, which is really good. So if I go to another file, which is this one here, if I go to another file, I can copy and paste these valvey bits there. So that's what I want to copy there. But first, I need to copy them, but also unparent them. And let's move them aside. And make sure they're not part of any armature. That's the only thing about this, is that it can be a bit tricky to copy and paste stuff in terms of copying data. So it has nothing there, nothing there. That's good. Good. All right, cool. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy that. And there we go. Awesome. So as for this one, I'm going to go ahead and place that over here. Sorry, it's looking at the stuff. How do I copyright a 3D model? Not a character model that I'm selling on Gumroad. Yeah. Well, there's no other way. There's no way you can prevent the piracy. Just copyright your name, and then that's it, and then hope for the best. I mean, the fact that like you're selling it internationally as well, you're not going to be able to trace this shit. So just take the wins when it comes, and then deal with the consequences if it gets pirated. That's all I'm going to say. There's no point in trying to fight it. And you don't have the money to be able to fight it either. Keep that in mind. So you're not a multi-million-dollar corporation that's going to take down some piracy cabal using it one person. So just act in good faith. right, cool. That's looking pretty cool. Yeah, no worries. If you want to watch, if you want to see what the process is like, 3D, 3-4 disorder, 34 disorder, just check out my channel. My last video literally goes through the whole process and talks through the whole process in detail about why you do things. So just watch that. All right, cool. So we got that going on. Let's go with the location. There we go. And what I can do here, I might actually go ahead and add another one up here. Oops, shit. All right, there we go. That's looking pretty cool. I like that. Sick. All right, cool. What do you guys think of this so far? You can wrap a base mesh as well. It can be a bit tricky without a plugin though. I think that's pretty cool, pretty sweet. Okay, cool. Let's just bring this one down a little bit. This one up a little bit. Nice. How's this looking in render? Obviously, there's no colors, but it's coming up pretty sick. Really liking this so far. Let's go pink in the picture. This one can be black. Let's add a new material. So I'm just going to test out the materials. Roughness, increase the roughness. Now, these aren't the final materials by any means, but that's looking pretty cool. I could go full bodybuilder colors there. So let's just go ahead. I just want to make sure that the values there are different enough that you can tell the difference. So darker or lighter. Let's go darker, more saturated. This one, let's go a little lighter, a little bit more pink. There we go. Cool. Ah, thanks. Yeah, it's been fun doing the proportions with this one. Been really fun doing the proportions in this one. And then as for the eyes, what I want to do is similar to what I've got on the other one. And just see if I can do some sort of solid color. Though I think I'll probably turn it into like a metallic sort of color here for the glasses. Let's try metallic. And then on the other one, let's go invert and give that another color. There we go. And that's for the metal, shiny. Something like that. Yeah, that's cool. Something along those lines. Please rig this one on live stream. I was going to use textures, but then I realized that if I want the underwear to behave the way that it should, that I'll probably need to add the fishnets manually. So I got a little trick for that. So just keep an eye on this. Check this out. So what I'm going to do is duplicate this leg all the way up to the torso. All right, duplicate this leg all the way to the torso. All right, I'm gonna duplicate it and separate it. All right, now what I'm gonna do is offset the mesh of this one just by a tad, like this. I'm gonna get rid of this loop here. I'm gonna get rid of this loop here because I don't need it. Wow, I do need it, but I'm not gonna use it for this part of the leg. All right, and it still looks all right. And then check this out. So if I look at this leg here, let's just turn off the shrink wrap, and I turn on wireframe. Where are we? Wireframe. Boom. We have this going on, right? And it's looking pretty horrible. If I go up like this, turn off the subdivision, we have this, right? Which is looking pretty cool. Bring down the thickness. And yeah, you can tell that it doesn't really look like fishnets just yet. But bear with me. Let's give it a new material and make it black. So getting something going on there, right? It looks kind of like fishnets, but it's not. All right, it's not fishnetty enough. All right. So what we're going to do is grab a, where is it? I'm going to grab a decimate modifier and set it to unsubdivide and set it to 1 iteration. And now that's looking like it's fishnets, at least in the front. So what I'm going to do is increase the subdivision surface over here. And now I have fishnets, which is pretty cool. So what I would do is, to get it to look a little bit more like fishnets, is I would just change the topology a little bit. But for the most part, it looks pretty cool. So what I'm going to do now is, again, shrink wrap that on before the subdivision. No, sorry. Shrink wrap the leg before the subdivision onto my new mesh. And offset that. And that's looking pretty cool. And I can add a few more subdivisions here to get the knee to work. And it needs it anyway, so. There we go. That looks pretty sweet. Yeah, it kind of has that sort of proportion, doesn't it? The character. But it looks pretty sick, I reckon. Looks pretty awesome. Thank you. All right, so that's kind of done. So what I'm going to do now is just go to this loop here and just sort of flatten it first. And get that going on there. So what I want to do now is create a loop that isn't deforming, isn't the fishnet. So I'm just going to copy this, duplicate, separate selection, and turn off the subdivision. Turn off the decimate, turn off the wireframe. Oh shit, wrong one. So I want to turn that to the strap. So what I want to do is turn off the wireframe. I can probably increase the shrink wrap like so. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. And I'm just going to flatten that out a little bit. And we've got that going on. Over here, what I'm going to do is just widen that out a little bit. And there we have it. How do I feel about it? I haven't really thought about it at all. So I have no idea, honestly. Can I do Spider-Man clothing like this? You could technically. It'd be all over the place on the mesh, but you'd probably with the Spider-Man you'd probably do it with textures. To be honest. But yeah, that's looking pretty sick. I'm really happy with that. As for the whole NFT thing, with films, Blender made films, I have nothing to say really. I mean, if you want to do that with Blender, they can do it freely. Not a big deal. That's the whole point of Blender, is that you can do whatever you want with it. If you want to make NFTs with it, then so be it. All right, cool. The reason why it's sort of clipping there is because there's just not enough geometry there, but that would be fine. I mean, I could add 2 more loops there and get it looking a little bit more even. Actually, that looks pretty good. So I'll do that. Cool. Really happy with that one. All right. So next thing to do will be the feet, but I'm going to take a shortcut with this one. With the feet, I'm going to create or copy some shoes from another model, because there's no point in me doing the same thing twice. Why wouldn't a texture work for me? Because I wanted to have the underwear feel like it's separate to the body. I could texture it, but then, yeah, it just looked like a game character, so I don't want it to look that way. All right. Looking pretty crazy. All right, so what we're going to do now, actually, I'm going to try something. Uh, My wife has some boots, and I can actually photo scan those boots. So and they look really good with this character. So I think I'm gonna skip the boots. I'm gonna actually scan the boots with the 3D scanner, and then add it to the character. Yeah, I'm not gonna do the boots right now. All right, cool. What else can I add to this that would be really cool? Let's see. All right. Let's see what else we can do. For now, we can actually start to work on the hair a little bit. So I might actually do that. How would I do the torn parts? I just delete the faces, I think. For the torn parts, that's a good question, actually. Let's do that. I would probably just go ahead and just do something like this. Delete. And then I'll just go ahead and smooth. And there we have some sort of tear there. I'll probably do something like that. And then sort of squish these parts down. See how that looks. Let's see how it looks. I have to turn off mirroring though for this to be effective. Yeah, that's how I do it basically. Just tear it. So what I'm going to do, that's a good question. Let's go ahead and do that now. For the torn parts, I'm just going to go ahead and delete or apply the mirror. And then choose parts where I want to keep the tears. So I'm going to go ahead and choose this part. Let's smooth it out. And then I'm going to go ahead and delete. And then I'm going to go ahead and kill it off like that. And there we have one tear, which I think works well. And then just bring these up here. So I don't know how this is going to weight paint, but I'm up for the challenge. That looks pretty cool. I actually like the tears there. That looks really awesome. Yeah, looks cool. All right, sweet. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and make another one right across here. Smooth that one out. Probably just go ahead and do this, actually. Squish, squish. And if I really wanted to make it pointy, I could delete a face. Delete an edge. Ah, come on. Delete an edge. And then just merge into a triangle here. And then just add the loop there. And that's giving me a nice little tear there as well. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if I could dynamically do this with geometry nodes or some shit like that, but again, it's not all that necessary to go that far. Yeah, mesh deform is a good idea, actually. That's a very good idea for the legs. I could also transfer weights. Yeah, it's meant to look a bit trashy, so that's the whole point of this character. They are trashy people, so yeah, good fun. Let's apply the shrink wrap for now. That looks better. Quick. All right, sweet. So let's go ahead and add another loop there. Delete that. And smooth that one out. Yeah, cool. What else is there? We got this one over here. But let's go ahead and add another one here to give it some asymmetry. Loop. And then merge. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Grab these. Bump, bump. Delete. And we've got ourselves a nice little tear there too. Yeah, I want it to feel kind of like dystopic, I guess you can say. Like, yeah, I wouldn't say Mad Maxy, but in that sort of punk kind of way. It's too symmetrical. Fuck. My bad. That's the other thing. You got to be careful about where you place these things. Yeah, it looks cool. And I'll add one here as well. I could also do them on the back, just so you know. Cool. And I'll do one down here as well. Something like that looks pretty sweet. Yep, awesome. What else we got? We can do one on the back here. I don't think I'm going to see much of the back of the character, but it's worth doing anyway. Cool. All right. And one last one, I think, up here. Sweet. All right, cool. I might just break it up just a little bit more up here, just with a little bit of another tear. Sometimes you just gotta just play with it and see how you go. If I wanted to do this dynamically, I can use a mask as well. But there we go. That looks cool. That looks better. In what sense? What's the thumbnail look like? All right. Okay. Yeah. True. All right. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Go for it. Go for it and check it out. It's really easy. All right. One last one up here. I keep saying one last one, even though it's not. And one here. And I think I'll leave it at that for now. Now, I wish I had another camera, because then I can actually show you how I'm going to go ahead and scan this shoe. But I don't have it set up yet. So there we go. Cool. All right. Really like this. All right. Oh, it's here as an early Maelstrom gang member in Cyberpunk Red or 27. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, for sure. All right. Yeah, that's probably because of this thing. It was probably because I was doing the ears at the time. All right, cool. She's coming up pretty well. All right, let's Oh, thank you. I'm waiting for you to do character in Blender. Now I want to continue my own. I want to finish anyway. Now you should continue it. There is a point. It's always fun, and you should do it. All right, cool. So what we're gonna do now, I think I'll do the hair, as in like this part here, and I'll show you something cool about the hair here as well. Now I don't know when my little one was gonna wake up, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's soon because she went to bed early. But let's do the hair. Let's do at least some of the hair. So what I'm gonna do is grab a little. This part here is meant to be like a tight, sort of like a fabric weave. So I'm gonna keep it as just a cylinder, and I can use that. I can do that as a texture. So just gonna go ahead to cylinder, add a cylinder, scale it down. Bring that down like that. And in local view, that's good. I can just go ahead and extrude that out. Boom. Apply the scale on all transforms, mirror that out. And then let's just go ahead and play with those a little bit. There we go. Looks ridiculous, but it's fun. That's all I care about with this one. Oh, go for it. I'm happy. Yeah, if you want to procrastinate, go for it. So what I'm going to do here. Yeah, for sure. If you want to get feedback, join the Patreon and you get Discord privileges. So yeah, and that's on the base level as well. Oh, there she goes. Okay. Okay. All right. I gotta go. I'm sorry about that, but I gotta wrap it up. Thank you for watching. We'll have some more fun with this on Monday. I think it'd probably be done by then, but I'll be probably recording extra parts for this as well. All right, so I'll be recording extra parts, and they'll go up on the Patreon. They'll go on the Patreon account as well. So and on the premium channel on sorry, the membership channel on YouTube. All right, yeah, I know, right? I'll catch you guys later. Thank you. Cheers.